Hello, everyone. This is Naim, wedding celebrant in Paris, and welcome to the French Wedding Show, where it is my job to introduce to you some of the best wedding vendors in Paris and in France. Today on the show, I welcome Daria Lorman. She is based in the most romantic and beautiful city in the world I have called Paris, but she is also available worldwide. She describes her images as airy, romantic, and ethereal. I love that descriptions. And she has been named one of the top 10 wedding photographers of Ile-de-France, which is Paris region, by the famous website mariage.com. This is a big CV, so let's take a deep dive to Daria's work. Daria, welcome to the show.
Hi, Naim. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure and a true honor. I'm very happy to be here today.
Really honored as well. You are the Paris photographer number one. What can we say? How can we say that? You're gonna be very modest. I know you enough for that. You're gonna say no, I'm not the number one, but you're in the top 10. So
of course, I'm definitely in the top 10. I'm not that modest. I think we have a lot of great photographers in Paris, and everyone is special for something.
I agree with that.
I'm definitely one of the good and sought after photographers in Paris, and happy to be.
Very welcome. And for once, you're in Paris, because my other guests, they were in America and Canada recently. So it's good to be back home. And you're a seeker of beauty, happiness, and love. This is so poetic, but you have to explain me that. Did you find it?
I think I found it quite a long time ago. Actually, I think maybe my website is named Paris Happy Pictures, because when I was defining my brand and thinking about what I would like to capture and what it's all about, I thought it's about happiness that people have in their relationship. It's about love. It's about beauty. I truly believe that everyone is beautiful. Some people laugh at me and tell me, like, come on, you can say everyone is beautiful, but I truly believe this. For me, my goal is to see this kind of beauty in my clients, in their love, in their relationship. And that's exactly what I'm looking for wherever I shoot them.
This sounds very candid, but I truly agree with that, especially doing this, evolving in this industry of weddings in France. You're always capturing some moments of happiness and unique places, unique moments, and it means a lot. So if I was outside the wedding industry, I would find it very candid, what you just said, but I actually embrace it and realize it every day. So how did it started?
Long story short, I was actually the kid with the camera. Okay. So even before iPhones existed and smartphones existed, no selfies, no phones with the cameras. When we were back kids at that time, I was the kid who was bringing the photo camera to all the school trips, to all the school events and party, and I was taking pictures of everything happening. And I think it was really nice. I really enjoyed doing it, and I think all my friends really loved those photos. When Facebook appeared, everyone was kind of using those pictures as their profile pics. I think it sounds like I'm a very old lady.
For the young people listening, there was a time before Facebook and iPhones. Believe us.
Sounds crazy, but the first pictures I was quite happy with. I think they were back in 2001. Mm-hmm. Then I was on a school trip to London, and I used to shoot film photography. So you could not see what you're shooting straight at the moment. So you had to wait to the lab, send back the photos to you. And I think I discovered some nice images of Big Ben and London Parliament, or some monuments. And I was thinking, like, oh, my pictures are not that bad. So when we grew up, some of my friends started getting married. And back in 2008, one of my best friends got married in Netherlands, and she asked me to be her wedding photographer So today, with my wedding photography background, I would be just like, girl, are you crazy? You should never, ever do this kind of thing. Like, if someone listens and they think asking their friends to be their wedding photographer, please don't. It's like a big no for me.
I agree with that.
But at the time, I did her wedding pictures in Netherlands in a small town, and it was actually my first wedding and first destination wedding because I traveled there, and I'm still quite happy with those pictures today. So I still love them. And then life went different paths for me. I was usually studying a lot, and I was quite a nerd. I got 2 business degrees in business and management and economics.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was studying in campus in France, which is a nice business school, but which is not in Paris, which is kind of American style, with a campus in the middle of nowhere with cows around. And I was just like feeling that I was missing something. I'm living almost in the most beautiful city in the world, almost because the campus was outside of it. And I didn't see the beauty of the city. I didn't see the beauty of Paris. I was not happy with my everyday life. So I was about to get back to my passion, taking pictures, which I forgot because my studies were quite hard. And in 2013, I founded my company. And that's the time when I decided to think about what I was really passionate about capturing. And I remembered how the first wedding felt, how amazing it was. And I was like, that's exactly what I want to capture. I want to see people in love. I want to see them be happy together. I want to capture their happy time in Paris. So that's when I started.
This is the explanation behind the tagline of the website.
Yes, exactly. And I know that a lot of photographers do all kind of photography. They shoot products, they shoot portraits, they shoot bloggers, couples, everything. And it's kind of, some people get this opinion about us, like, you're a photographer, you can take the pictures of the yoga class and then beer production. And I have a brand of kids clothes, so why don't you do my pictures? And for me, it's not the same. You know, I think everyone has to do what is their strength and what's they're doing best. And I know that I'm very strong at getting that personal connection between people, notice their beauty and help them feel good and relaxed and happy in their pictures. And I really love everything about love. So I take pictures of everything about the couple and their love. I'm not doing anything else.
I really like this approach. I mean, there's all kinds of photographers in Paris. They're all great. But yeah, a lot of them are not doing only weddings. I really like the specification versus the generalization. I think it's an opportunity, and it's a good move to do this. So you had both hats. You had the artistic side and also the business side on the end. So nobody could stop you, right?
I love to call myself Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, for those who know the personage, because I have a very analytical part of my mind, and I really love business and analytics and doing my websites, selling things. And at the same time, I used to work at the business consulting, creating strategies for big companies, which is very different from wedding photography. And I really love both. Mm-hmm. So I didn't kind of quit my day job for a dream life. I love doing both. Just to be sure, like today I'm a full-time photographer. I don't have another job, but I love everything from both worlds, the business world and the creative world.
I think it's very important, and it's also a big option for when you want to launch your own business. A lot of people, they quit their job, they just go all in on their creativity just because they feel like they're good at photography or anything else, but they tend to forget you have to be knowledgeable in business, at least in a minimum, like analytics, yeah, creating a website, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of sales, everything. So it's
Absolutely.
kind of all-in-one approach. Really, really good, I think.
Yeah, we're all entrepreneurs, and I think it's really helpful to have this kind of education, this kind of background, because otherwise, when you're creative and you live your whole life as a creative, you have to do some workshops or maybe some education, a one-to-one education to fill in those lacking knowledge you might need.
Mm-hmm. So coming back to the artistic side of you, you specify a great thing about natural light photographer on your website.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to specify this?
I kind of really love film photography, but I'm mainly doing digital today because I feel that the result is quite similar. I know a lot of my colleagues say, like, you're joking, you're shooting film. So that for me, the mean doesn't matter when you can achieve the goal. But I still love using those tools and those artistic approach, which is characteristic for the film photography, which is mainly outdoors, using beautiful light. It's kind of the use of light, the use of colors, the use of editing, posing the people. It's my style. It's quite particular, and it works best with the natural light. So I prefer to let people know that what they see and what they like has to do a lot with the lighting. If let's be honest, if we shoot in a dark ballroom at night, it's not going to have the same feeling. You're not going to get the light and airy images. It's a different style. I'm shooting wherever my clients need me, and I usually show them the examples of the galleries, how it will look like in a dark ballroom. But it's if I have a choice myself, I would definitely choose an outdoor session at the sunrise with the beautiful lighting, with the pastel colored dresses or clothes, and with that soft and natural and romantic feel of the images.
You also use the term ethereal that I really, really like. And how did it go? Well, like when you have this kind of airy, ethereal approach, like do you find your own wedding couples, or they tend to adapt to what you propose? Do you understand the question? It's a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I try to educate my clients.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But also, I think with all those words put onto paper on my website, I kind of try to guide people to let them know what to expect from. For example, if they come to my website and they see natural light photography, when people do a night wedding at the Golden Ballroom, they will probably ask themselves, like, it says natural lights. Does that mean she will use flash, or she will not shoot my wedding, on how it will work? So people usually ask me those kind of questions, and if they have any doubts that my style is not exactly what they are looking for, and usually it's still what they're looking for because they love what they see, and then I can guide them and help them make it work. So for example, I would suggest them using a lot of candles, or maybe adding some kind of lighting for their ballroom. Maybe the choices of the outfits can also help, guiding them through the locations, through the poses, through their attitude. So I think it's a mix of my style and what my clients like, and our work together to make the best out of it.
Always. And you on the that was more like the graphics and the specificity of the shots. Now about your attitude, how do you manage a session yourself? Do you adapt also to the client, or would you be some like guide, like, oh, you should do this, we should do that, like drive me through this? What do
I
you
think
think?
it depends on the session. It depends on the clients. Depends on what kind of session it is. If it's a full wedding day or if it's a portrait session in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I usually say that I do quite a lot of guidance. Because my clients are looking for like magazine worthy pictures. They want it to be perfect, and I also want it to be perfect. I pay a lot of attention to all the small details. I like to adjust the dress, the veil. I like to adjust the bride's hair so it looks beautiful. That's not like a typical French reportage approach to the photography, which is the complete opposite. It's more like, I would say, American and Asian style, where the photography is more posed. But that's what my couples look for. They look for beautiful images, and they're ready to work a little bit on it.
Okay.
But I also don't guide them to the point there they would feel some kind of uncomfortable or pushed. I never push anyone do anything they don't like. I can always ask, like, if they consider this pose too cheesy, or if they consider this too much, they won't do it, and I won't make them do it. And also, it depends on the couples, and I usually ask them beforehand quite a lot of questions to learn to know them better. If it's a wedding day, I send a long questionnaire with multiple points to.
What kind of questions would you ask for the audience listening? What should they expect if they are booking with you?
So I usually ask them what kind of pictures they like. Is it more candid? Is it more posed? Is it more like funny and silly, or is it super romantic editorial style? So this kind of gives you the feel about the couple. If they have any preferences in terms of their pictures. So some people would say, like, do your magic and make it happen. Some people would say, like, hey, we love a lot of black and white photos, or we don't want to do any black and white photos because we have Chinese origins and this is not something we're willing to see. Some people will say, like, most people will say, like, we're not professional models. We're not used to taking pictures. We don't know what to do. And here I come with my advices and a lot of guidance. And I try to make them feel comfortable anyway. And I can tell them, like, most of my clients are not professional models and they've never done pictures before. I also ask quite a lot of questions about their wedding day or about the elopement day planning, if there are any important moments to be captured, any particular traditions, because there is nothing worse for me to miss any kind of important detail. And sometimes the brides are just too busy just too busy on their wedding day, and they don't remember those things. So I put it down, some examples, maybe initials on the clothes, or maybe a grandma accessory, or like a brooch, or some embroidery, or something like this. Maybe personalized biscuits with their initials, so anything. Can be something really small. I recently had a couple in Paris. They renewed their vows after getting married in States. And the bride at the end of the session just asked me, like, oh, can you take the picture of his jacket, because he has the embroidery of my name at the back of it. And can you take a picture of our rings and the picture of our vows, because our original wedding photographer did not have time for this on the wedding day, so we don't have anything of this photographed. So wow. I'm kind of, sometimes I'm just doing the dirty work behind someone, like something forgot, trying to and I definitely don't want to be this person myself, so I don't want to forget something on the wedding day, or their elopement day.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I had
yeah,
go ahead.
No.
I had many couples questioning about my ceremonies, which is not the same kind of work that you have. Obviously, we're working mostly before the wedding, and the execution is quite very fast. Sometimes very fast, especially the ones we had together.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's really different, the wave of working session. But I also ask this kind of questions to have an idea about what steps, what do they want to say in the ceremony, what do they don't want to say. And yeah, it gives you it helps a lot, I think, because it gives you an idea of who is the couple, what's the persona, who are you dealing with. And they're more relaxed, they're more conventional. So it guides you, and I'm sure that it guides you as well to get the best out of the moment, because happens once, so you can't miss.
Absolutely. And I think everyone is different and everyone is looking for something different. Sometimes I have couples who tell me that they really love the pictures where we have a lot of beautiful Parisian scenery and just a small silhouettes of them. So they don't want any like close portraits.
Yeah,
And imagine I don't know this information. I would spend all my time doing beautiful, from my point of view, portraits, and at the end they will be just not satisfied because they wanted to see a lot of Paris and just like them somewhere in the corner, and that's not something you can guess.
absolutely. Information is king in this moment. Is there? So you're in business since almost 10 years,
I think even more.
even more. You're born doing business.
If we start from that wedding back in 2008,
Oh
it's
wow,
been
yeah, it's been longer.
I did some shootings in between. It was not exactly what I'm doing today, but still. So I was
Nice.
always shooting, but yeah, somewhere around 10 years for sure.
So after all this time, what is there something you wish you had known when you started?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. I think I need to think about it.
This happens a lot.
um, I would say just be confident that if you do what you love and what you're passionate about, it's a right thing to do. Because I think I had a lot of doubts quitting my professional consulting career,
Yeah.
going full time into photography, because you kind of have that feeling that you might miss some other opportunities. And some people still consider all the creative jobs as not that good or not that serious. And I remember my friends thinking I'm just having a burnout moment in my career and
Yeah.
just getting into something for fun, and that one day I will be back. And then you never come back. But I think I'm getting used to it, and I'm getting happier about it. And I would say I could do it earlier, and I
Yeah.
could be more confident of my choices. And I think if we're good at doing something, we should do it.
I really agree with that. And it resonates a lot with me and my experience. And in general, entrepreneurs in general, like not only in wedding industry, when you are going into the water, you feel so good that you're like, why so late? So I had this question in my mind as well. So any plans for the future, Daria, for your business? Anything that you want to explore? Any plans, any events, something for the next year?
Well, that's a hard question because I had so many plans before COVID.
And then COVID
And,
came up.
yeah, so I wanted to do some things which are postponed. So it's kind of like plans from 2 years, 3 years ago that gonna happen one day, maybe this year, next year, or maybe in 2 years, because it doesn't depend on me. It
Okay.
depends on all our government regulations. My main plan is just to continue doing what I'm doing. My 2022 is fully booked for quite a long time already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not moving anywhere. I have to perform and do my best to make my couples happy. Um, I haven't started booking 2023 yet. I think I want to do some different destinations in the near future, but once again, waiting for it to be possible with all the regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And that's about it.
So that's, yeah.
Very good. So for couples listening, 2023, wink, wink. You guys can go and book Daria. I'll leave the website's URL, Instagram, as always, in the show notes. And Daria, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening to the French Wedding Show. If you want to know more about our guest today, you can go to the show notes and find all the relevant links. Also, have a look at my website, theparisiancelebrant.com, also in the show notes. If you want to start to plan your wedding ceremony or elopement in Paris or anywhere in France. I look forward to hear your ideas. Thank you again so much for listening, and see you soon for another episode.